No more jokes. We are back tonight with episode 2 of Higurashi no Naku Koroni, or When They Cry. As we learned in the How It All Began presentation that we proceeded last episode with, Higurashi are a specific type of late summer, early autumn cicadas that are native to Japan that have a really unique, almost metallic timbre to their call. Different from like a cicada. If you're in the Midwest right now, they're going crazy around here. I've got like 4 or 5 pictures. I've been meaning to send them in the Discord and be like, it's Higurashi season, everybody. We just kicked this off last week. Really, really enjoying it so far. It's a nice little cozy slice of life. Kid from the big city moves into a small little town of Hinamizawa and is going to school. You know, made friends with a couple of the girls in his class. There are only a handful of students in the school altogether. And Rena, Mion, Satoko, and Rika? Purple hair? Is that her name? We'll find out soon. But 3 out of 4 ain't bad. And then Keiichi is who we are, our protagonist. If you weren't here for the first episode, I highly suggest checking it out on YouTube or here on Twitch. I do have the VOD. The entire playthrough VODs will be up on Twitch throughout the recording of the playthrough. I also highly suggest checking out the How It All Began if you want to learn a little bit more about the history of Higurashi, of Ryukishi 07, of 07th expansion. We dug into the deep history of the Dojin community at Comiket, this game's release at Comiket 62, how the company's 07th expansion got their name, how Ryukishi 07 got his name, early origins of Higurashi and Rena, and just visual novel culture in the 90s and 2000s and the games that kind of fundamentally and seismically shifted what was possible from an independent creator in the visual novel space. I'm excited to get back into this. These are going to be shorter streams. We're just going to be doing chapters at a time. But let's continue here. We are playing with OG sprites. As you can see, there's Rena right down there. OG backgrounds. These are photographs that were taken by Ryukishi as well as his brother Yadazakura in Shirakawa, a small little mountain town, and then they just threw some Photoshop filters over it. I could be wrong about the name of the town, but I could be right at the same time. I think they're beautiful. I think that it sets this really cool sense of unease, especially when you throw Ryukishi 07's art on top of it. It's just got this kind of uncanny look that I think suits the themes so far really nicely. Like, small town, idyllic community, but there's something going on. We before last stream ended, we read 2 of the tips. One of the tips was that Mion's aunt has a specialty store selling used school uniforms, and that's why every girl in the class is wearing a different outfit as opposed to all either wearing their home clothes or wearing the same outfit. Dress code is not enforced at the Hinamizawa school, as well as the school itself, the original school was burned down, and they are currently renting this little building that the current school is in from the forestry department. Little things that just kind of set this stage of funky, weird stuff is going on. As well as just the opening of the game and just that sound of like, while like this like monologue of like, I loved you, I always loved you, but it has to end, or something like that was going on. Let me remind everybody that Ryukishi07 was very, very, very forthcoming about the fact that this is a horror game from the jump. He, on the development blog for Higurashi in summer of 2002, before the first chapter came out, was like, I want to be abundantly clear to, whoever's reading this, I'm making a scary game, and even I don't quite realize how scary the game that I'm making is. With that in mind, Nancy's not convinced. So we will continue things here. I'm really looking forward to it. We're gonna just take it easy. A nice breezy time through Hinamizawa, nice breezy time through Higurashi when they cry. Thanks everybody for being here. Let's get this thing going. Go ahead and load this up. We will continue. So we're going to do the one chapter today, and then whatever tips come up after that. I took it a little too easy on the morning of my day off. I was totally late. And to top it off, that pesky mom of mine pushing a return journey errand on me just as I'm trying to leave the house. Today was the day that Rena and Mion were going to show me around Hinamizawa. Rena and Mion were already waiting at the meeting place. Oh, Snow, hang on. This is actually, I gotta do a brief aside here really quick, because I was hanging out in Snow's stream yesterday, was doing some late birthday shenanigans, Halo, and Snow tweeted, like, going live with some Halo, and Sev responded, I'd rather play Mario Kart or Medal of Honor or Battlefield. Hard passed. Random reply to my going live. As soon as I saw this, I didn't want to call it out, like, outright. But there she is. the avatar of the person that said, I'd rather play Mario Kart or Medal of Honor or Battlefield. Hard pass. There's Rena. I didn't want to be like, oh, that's the game that I'm playing. But I thought it was funny.
Hey, John, you're late.
She has a gun. Sorry. The show I was watching last night was really interesting, so blame that.
Oh, so that's your excuse for being late and keeping two girls waiting?
Me, John?
You just got here yourself. Last night's episode of A Day in the Life of was interesting, wasn't it?
She was just as guilty as me. Rena was carrying a pretty heavy-looking handbag. What is that? Mion answered my unspoken question with a wink. That's right, Rena really did make a picnic.
Hey, John, after you left, Rena pulled out all the stops.
It's not like I forced her to do it.
It's nothing, so don't worry about it, okay? She's been like this since last night, you know? Can you take responsibility for this?
All right. I'm a man after all. I'll take responsibility.
Huh? Responsibility? For what? For what?
What's up, Alums? As we both turned around slowly to look at Rena, our gazes drifted downwards to the massive handbag she was carrying. It didn't seem logically feasible that it would be entirely filled with lunchboxes. Except, this was Rena we were talking about here. Was that a handgun? Yeah, we're all thinking the same thing. Yes, it was a handgun. I just pressed a button on the keyboard that reminded me that I have the voices turned off. Yes, it was. You want to take a picture with no background, with no text on the screen? Yeah, because I think we need it. About 2 kilos, I guess.
When Rena was picking it up, I could see she was struggling a bit. I say 5. You're exaggerating. Keiichi-kun is a boy after all. I thought he could probably eat a lot, so I made a lot, okay? Let's get going. Heave-ho!
Just from the way she was lifting it up, I couldn't believe the only things in there were lunch boxes.
Correction. I say 5 kilos too. I'll help out, but all of it needs to be eaten. I won't forgive you if you make Rena sad. Got it?
The only thing I could do at that moment was exercise a bit to make myself hungrier. She is packing for no reason. I think it's we have to think about it like this. We have to put ourselves in the shoes of when this came out and what the vibes were. This was a doujin convention in the summer of 2002 where somebody who was known for making trading cards said, I'm gonna make my own visual novel with my own art inside. And maybe he just thought that model was cool. Give her a gun. You know, like some 28-year-old guy that like, he's gonna sell 10, 20 copies of this, you know? All things considered, this is just something for him and his friends. And like the few people that are buying the Leaf Fight cards that he makes. Maybe he just thought it looked good. Having finished with the pleasantries, we began our leisurely stroll. A carefree walk, bathed in the gentle morning light. I couldn't have even imagined something so wholesome existed during my time in the city. These were the boonies, after all. No slovenly desk jockeys trudging to work on the weekends out here. It really was a nice place, peaceful and quiet. As sparsely populated as the village was, you could still run into people just by walking around. Ah, good day. Good day. Oh, you wouldn't be Meibara-kun, I believe. My 2 companions exchanged greetings with everybody we ran across. All these passerbys even knew my name. When did I become this famous? We passed 3 people, and when all 3 of them knew me, I started to feel a bit paranoid.
It's a bit sad to say. Everyone knows everyone, since there are so few people here in Hinamizawa.
So that means when an unfamiliar face walks by, they automatically assume it's that Meibara fellow who just moved here?
Yep, that's how it works out.
It was a process of elimination that you could only pull off in a place like this, but it was quite effective. From now on, I'd better make sure to maintain a good reputation. The day I'm discovered accidentally gawking at a dirty magazine in the bookstore, I can expect all the villagers labeling me as a lech by the next day. Hinamizawa is not to be trifled with. That's not the end of this nightmare. Of course I know them. Oh,
Of course I know them. The first person we met was Old Man Takezo from the Makino Bike Shop. His hobbies are bonsai and playing the flute. Next, we met the grocer's second son, Daisuke-kun. His hobby is sharpshooting, and he hopes to be an ace sniper in the future. And the person we just met was Mio-san, the nurse from the clinic. Her hobbies are birdwatching and photography.
You know the names of everyone we passed by, and even their profiles? Seeing my surprise, Mion and Rena exchanged looks and burst into laughter.
Well, yeah. We're not like the city where people hardly know their neighbors.
Then let's try it out. You there, who am I?
You're Keiichi Meibara. You say some mean things, but you're actually a kind, shy person. It's been 3 weeks since you transferred here. Your hobby is taking afternoon naps, and lately you switched over to wearing boxers. Didn't you?
That's enough. That's enough.
Boxers?
Enough of that. Apparently there's absolutely nothing you can keep hidden here. Hinamizawa was not a place to be trifled with. This feels more like you guys are showing me off, rather than showing me around.
That's right. We're parading around like this after all. It'll give everyone a chance to see for themselves that Kei-chan is fitting in right here in Hinamizawa. The population in Hinamizawa is shrinking, so the villagers welcome anybody who's new here.
I thought about brushing it off with something to the effect of, "You're kidding me," but I held back. Had I ever greeted someone who had just moved into the city like this before? Thinking about that made me believe what they said wasn't a joke at all. We passed another person. Of course, we were called out to again in the same way. "Oh, my, good day. It's wonderful seeing you getting along."
This lady here is Fujishima-san. Good day.
"Oh my, Meibura-kun. How wonderful of you having a lovely girl on each arm. How are you? Getting used to life here?" Instead of regurgitating a prepared response like I would have in the city, I responded with an emphatic nod. The old woman chuckled, voicing her appreciation of how energetic I was.
Good.
As I looked back over to Brenna and Myon, they gave me a wink.
So, now then. About time we have lunch, maybe? Maybe?
Get that wink too. That wink is really good. I'm trying to decide what the emote is for this game, because there simply has to be one, but I don't know what it's gonna be. And the wink is really good. The gun? Caporal strapped? Brenna's brilliant smile signaled the approach of an event that both Myon and I were trying to forget. We both looked at each other. I'm a man. I'll do what I can, but it's just too much.
It's fine, Kei-chan. Leave it to this old man.
Myon has never seemed as reliable as she does right now. I'd expect no less from the class representative.
Rena, if we're gonna eat, we might as well go somewhere with a good view. Yes! Good idea. I agree.
Rena nodded her head happily in response to Myon's proposal. Cresting the top of the stone stairway, a shrine, drawn straight out of my imagination, appeared before us. It had worn down a bit through the years, but the fallen leaves had been swept up, giving it a tidy feeling.
This here is Furude Shrine. It's probably the place with the best view around. This place, be sure to remember it. On our next break, a festival will be held here.
Isn't it a bit too early in the season for a festival?
The Watanagashi isn't a summer festival. Long ago, it used to be a celebration of the end of winter.
I was embarrassed for assuming that festivals had to be held in the summer. Oh, and so that's end of winter, so springtime. Interesting. Okay. We're getting a sense of the timeline here. I had assumed in my brain that because the game came out in August, this is also sort of set in August, and then you get like the North American cicada season here at this time. I wonder, maybe I'm mixing up two different things. Maybe like Higurashi are, so long as the temperature is in the right sweet spot, they're year round. It's not like an annual emergence sort of thing. I don't know. We'll have to dig in.
Now then, spread out the lunchboxes, and there.
Various colored lunchboxes were placed one after the other on top of the plastic sheet. It sure did smell delicious. It was Rena's home cooking. It went without saying that it would be delicious. But is it even possible to finish all of this? Hey, Myeon, it'll take more than just a good view to get all this down, you know. Good afternoon. Oh, shit. It is Rika. I was right. Oh, I got it. It was Rika-chan and Satoko. Why are they here? Myeon grinned over at me. I see. This was her secret plan. The power in numbers. You have my thanks, Myeon. Following up when all the pieces are in place is my specialty.
We just had to come here since there was such a commotion. What's the meaning of this?
Take a look. It's time for lunch. Buffet style. A handmade gourmet meal by Rena.
I can see that much. Why have you laid out a tarp on our property?
The temple's public grounds. Hey, it's not yours.
Keiichi is right. This is everyone's property.
Wow, Rika-chan's such a good girl. Have a seat. Eat with us. After opening up a spot for Rika-chan, I promptly turned my back on Satoko.
Hold on a second. Where is my spot?
No spot for you, and nothing for you to eat.
Don't worry. There's some for you too. None.
I'll eat all of hers. Oh, sorry, none. I'll eat all of hers.
I will not allow that, Rika!
Here, chopsticks. Both Satoko and I leapt at the boxes, having it out with each other.
Man, really? Kei-chan, you're really good at this leading people on thing. You might have a talent for this. Have a plate. One for me-chan, and Rika-chan too.
Rena whipped out pairs of chopsticks and paper plates.
If we don't hurry, it'll all be eaten up.
That's right. Okay, shall we commence this battle?
Please eat a lot. There's enough for everyone.
Rena said as she opened up a thermos. Just then, I realized that this lunch was made under the assumption that 5 people would be eating. It didn't change how much there was, but the implication behind it was different.
I will not allow you to have this hamburger.
Oh, using your elbows against the rules, Satoko.
Grabbing the back of my collar is also against the rules.
It was a tough battle. Blocking with her full momentum and an elbow in the opening move, Satoko appeared to have the upper hand. But the difference in our proficiency with chopsticks proved to be a fatal, and gave me the upper hand.
The last meatball!
Satoko Hojo has been bested. Satoko and I amiably began choking at the same time, falling backwards and spasming. Rika-chan patted me on the head to clear it, even though it was actually stuck in my throat. Seeing that made Rena blush and breathe heavily in excitement. It was almost like flowers were floating all around her. Myeon advised Rena to refrain from saying anything that could get her locked up. This is how our meals usually go. I'd do anything in my power just so things could stay like this. The intense battle calmed, and finally everyone reached a point where they could begin talking. Receiving tea from this thermos, I let out a small sigh. I do wonder why there are so few words in Japanese to praise how something tastes.
Isn't it because of the idea of togetherness during a meal didn't begin until the modern era? It seems that long ago people ate in silence. It must have made the people preparing the food a bit sad, don't you think? It's probably because the people back then were so busy eating that they didn't have the time to compliment the flavor.
That's just you. But,
just hearing that it's good makes me happy. That my effort was worth it, I mean.
She blushed a little as she said that.
It was delicious.
With absolutely perfect timing, Rika-chan struck Rena directly with praise. She looked straight at her, with an expression of bewitching innocence.
Oh? Oh?
After Rena uttered an unintelligible noise, a ring of smoke rose from her head with an audible poof.
Oh, Rika-chan, I'm gonna take you home. No, I mean, thank you. It was really delicious.
Rena flushed red with excitement, embracing Rika-chan and rubbing her cheek against her so hard you could almost hear it.
To reward Rika-chan for her praise, ta-da! These are special.
2 apple rabbits. After sticking toothpicks into them, she thrust them toward Rika-chan. After Rika-chan accepted them, the mood suddenly shifted, in a bizarre way. What is it, Satoko? What's with that defiant look?
Has everyone prepared proper praise to receive apples from Rena-san? Don't push yourself. What kind of praise can you think up with your weak vocab? Well then, allow me to show you.
After Satoko flashed Mion and me a defiant look, she changed the tone of her voice, suddenly.
Hey. So, Rena One-chan's lunch. Satoko thought it was yummy too.
Satoko looked up at her poutily while talking cutesy. What? How was that praise? That's not even persuasion by tears. It's persuasion by cuteness, isn't it? This is Rena's limited special skill. She blushed and her head spun, waving around in circles. Don't fall for it, Rena! Of course, it was asking for the impossible. Rena glomped Satoko and began rubbing her cheek against her.
Cute! Satoko's so cute! Take you home?
Swish and stab. Push! Satoko was also presented with apple rabbits. After stuffing them into her mouth, she looked over at Mion and me again with that defiant gaze. It took only 5 seconds to take down Rena. That's unfair, to think she had such a trick.
If it upsets you so much, why not reward Rena-san with some praise?
Damn it! That was a dirty trick. First of all, it wasn't even praise.
Satoko, you think you've won with that, don't you? How about I show you guys something much better than your superficial gimmicks?
What's up, Bahumoth? No worries, no worries, no worries. We're taking it nice and slow. There are 13 sub-chapters in the first game, and I want to do 1 each stream. So some of them will be a little bit longer, some of them will be nice and short. So these streams might be quick. These streams might be in the hour to 90-minute range. I don't want them, I want it to be more like an episode of a TV show and less like a big stream. So if you're a little late, you catch it on DVR later, But good to see you. That sounds great, Mion. What kind of trick is it?
Kei-chan's gonna be the one who does it.
What?
Why don't I have you show me then? The writhing of an old maid.
The plan of attack she suggested was wicked, but it was the only thing we had to beat Satoko. After sipping my tea, I started talking, very naturally and calmly. Perfectly. It really is good, isn't it? This is all freshly made, right?
No. Actually, almost all of it was frozen stuff.
Then which ones did you even make fresh?
It's embarrassing. Do I really have to say? Must I?
From the synergy of boy plus handmade lunchbox, her expression had melted into euphoria. I already know. This one, right?
Uh-huh. Oh.
Rena turned an even deeper shade of red. The words, I can't believe it, practically written on her face.
How can you tell? How that I made it?
Of course, Mion had told me beforehand. Oh, it's been perfect so far. After acting like I was shy, I waited a beat. Next would be the finisher. It had your smell. Silence enveloped the area. Rena, face still completely red, froze, solid. With a small yelp, Satoko also blushed. Of course I did, too. I sure would like to try one of Rena's handmade apple rabbits or something. Even if this was all because I was competing against Satoko, it felt like I had crossed the line by a good 9 yards, I think. Oh, you want one with no text on the inverted backgrounds? Looks like a Navi. Then at that moment, boosh! It was a Tupperware container filled with rabbits.
Please eat some, Keiichi-kun. There's plenty for you.
Huh? Instantly, dozens of the apples were shoved into my mouth, knocking me over. Oh, hey!
Say Keiichi-kun.
My head was forcibly laid upon her lap, and even more apples were shoved into my mouth. While she was squealing, one apple after another was forced in my mouth. More and more apples. How about apples?
Kei-chan, that was a beautiful sacrifice. How's that, Satoko? This is our complete victory, isn't it? I can't believe it. Such trickery. It doesn't even bother me at all.
Satoko ground her teeth, mortified. We did it! I claimed victory as my consciousness drifted slowly away from me. At that time, Rena stopped her squealing as suddenly as she realized something.
Rika-chan, you're not eating it. Did the salt water make it too strong, maybe? Maybe?
Looking over, Rika-chan had pulled the toothpick out of the apple rabbit, placed it into her cupped hands, and seemed to be at a loss for what to do.
Poor Mr. Rabbit. I feel sorry for him. I want to save him. Please.
That was the sound of blood spurting from Rena's nose.
Cute! Oh, tonight I'll take you home.
She shook sporadically, her head wobbling back and forth. Then, coming back to her senses, she took all of the apples around me, gathered them up with a whip, and fixed them back up onto a plate.
Now they're all fine, Kay. Here. I'll give them to you, Rika-chan, okay?
Rika-chan raised up Satoko's hand like a referee after having that plate of rabbits shoved to her. She whispered,
This is our victory. Oh? What? What? A comeback?
Yes, my sacrifice ended up being in vain. Popsicle, what's up? What's up? You're just in time. For nearly the end of the chapter, welcome in, Raiders. We are doing one chapter a week, one sub-chapter of Higurashi no Naku Koro ni, Higurashi When They Cry. We are just doing the first chapter that was released at Comiket 62 in August of 2002, Onikakushi Hen. as part of Caprolog Season 1. It's good to see you. What is Artist Impact? What's the vibes there? It sounds cool. What's up, Popsicle? How you doing tonight? How was your stream? How was everything? Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is VN night. Every Sunday over here is a Storytime Sunday. And I am reading all of it firsthand. So no voice acting, old school 2002 style, original backgrounds, original sprites, reading all of it out loud. I really want to kind of evoke a similar feeling to like catching an HBO show every Sunday night for a season. How's it been? I mean, we're about an hour and a half in total. And it's doing a good job. We're getting a good sense of all of the characters. It's very, very, very cutesy. And I think if it's stuck like this, I could be chilling. I think it would be interesting, and I know that there are VNs that do exist that are in a much more slice of life sort of realm like this. Like one boy moves into a small town and a bunch of girls are fawning over him, and he makes friends with some and falls in love with others. We started this stream last week. We started this game with a presentation that I like to call How It All Began, where we outlined the history of 07th expansion, Ryukishi 07, how Higurashi came to be, and part of the development notes released in the summer of 2002 before the game came out was Ryukishi going like, I just want to let everybody know, this is a horror game. It's shaping up to be way more of a horror game than even I anticipated, so please don't go into it thinking it's too sweet. But it's fooling me so far. Definitely really enjoying it. I don't know anything about where it goes or what the deal is, so we're learning it all together. Yeah, it could be a double pump fake, Nancy. It could be looks cute, hyped up as horror, actually cute. And so it's like a subversion of the subversion. And so we're in like a, quick right turn after the left turn to get us back where we started. But it's nice. It's really nice. I appreciate the raid. Thank you so much. If anybody's not following Popsicle and wants to chill, and I'll check out that Artist Impact. I have no idea what it is. Thank you so much. It's great to see you. For us, it was a fun-filled, crazy day. But as soon as the sun began to set, the end of the day really did come quickly.
Later, Rena and Kei-chan. See you tomorrow.
Thanks for today, Mion. I had a great time.
See you tomorrow.
Satoko and Rika went home as well. We parted ways with Mion, and it ended up with just Rena and myself, enjoying the evening air on our way home.
Thanks for coming today, Keiichi-kun. Was it fun?
Yeah, lots of fun. Almost feels like a waste to go home now.
Oh, then, well, would you mind taking a little detour maybe? Maybe?
A detour? Is it far?
It's a bit of a walk, but it won't take long.
Since we had been walking around all day, I must have seemed pretty tired. Yo, thanks, Popsicle. Enjoy your dinner. Not feeling like teasing Rena, I quietly nodded. Traversing a small path and up a small hill, the land suddenly stretched out before us. There, what looked like the remains of a dilapidated construction site came into view. A large heap of garbage spread out off toward the swamp. Probably illegal dumping. I recalled it being in the newspaper.
It's been quite a while. I wonder what's here.
When you say it's been a while, you mean the business you had here was with this garbage pile?
Oh, it's not garbage. To me, it's a pile of treasure.
Rena had already entered that well-known cute mode of hers. So that meant there was something cute here?
Whoa, a new pile. I can't wait. I can't wait.
She descended the unstable slope with ease. I'd expected no less from a born and bred country girl. Hey, wait, I'm coming, whoa! My city-raised self was completely pitiful.
It's all right. Just stay right there, Keiichi-kun. It won't take long.
Rena kindly declined my accompaniment. Don't fall! Watch your step!
I'm fine. This is nothing at all.
Literally bounding among the heaps of trash, Rena disappeared from sight. I didn't like being left behind, but I was still pretty tired from the whole day, so I just ended up waiting. Without the lively Rena around, the surrounding area quickly fell into silence. The cry of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. Fairly exhausted, I began to feel a little sleepy. Just then, the sudden noise of scattering pebbles alerted me to somebody's presence, and startled, I turned around. Standing there was a typical-looking photographer. He spied over at me through his camera. His body was tanned and fit, but something about him seemed unreliable, and he had a bit of an aloof air about him. Well, it didn't seem like he was a bad guy in any case. Whoa, you surprised me. Although startled when I turned around, he overplayed his reaction. That was my line. Hey, I'm the one who's surprised here. My bad. I didn't mean to startle you. Are you from Hinamizawa? I gathered that he wasn't from that question. Unfazed by my suspicious gaze, he introduced himself without my prompting. I'm Tomitake, freelance photographer. I come to Hinamizawa from time to time. I didn't ask you who you were. Quite rude to photograph someone without consent, one would think. My bad. I mainly photograph wild birds. They can't refuse, you see. So what? You're saying I'm the same as birds? No, well, you see, that image of a young man in the twilight was just picturesque. I apologize for trying to take your picture without asking. Adults are pretty slick. All that annoyance I felt for being startled just flew away as he buttered me up. I had no intention of hanging around with this guy trying to get cozy with me, except it didn't seem like Rena would be back soon. But this older guy, Tomitake-san, he didn't mind my cautious responses and continued rambling on by himself.
Keiichi-kun, sorry to keep you waiting. I'm finished now.
Rena popped up her head from one of the lower piles of garbage and waved her hand.
You have someone with you?
Oh, you have someone with you? What would she be doing over here? That's what I wanted to know. I don't know. Maybe she's checking on that dismembered corpse that was out here long ago? Tomitake-san looked shaken up by that for a moment. Uh-oh. I responded like I would if I were talking with Rena and the others. It was quite a disturbing incident. They still haven't found one of the arms.
Keiichi-kun, sorry to keep you. You were waiting a while, I guess.
I'd best leave you two lovebirds alone. Again, my apologies for startling you, Keiichi-kun. Tomitake-san chortled suggestively, then disappeared into the twilight. Missing my chance to retort put me off a bit.
Keiichi-kun, are you angry? Why? I wonder.
It wasn't Rena's fault, so I just decided to brush it off for now. How was it? You find a treasure trove?
Oh, yes. So listen. You see, there was a Colonel Sanders doll.
Colonel Sanders doll? Oh, that thing. Those statues they always have out in front of that fried chicken place? That life-size dummy?
Yeah, Colonel Sanders. How cute. I want to take it home.
I couldn't tell how she decides what's cute or not, but, well, she seems to want it. It's garbage, right? No one would care if you just take it home, right?
Oh, it's become the base of another pile. I can't dig it out easy. And there's no lampposts over there, so it'll get dark pretty soon.
Rena seemed quite down about finding a treasure and not being able to bring it back. I'll help you out. Come on, to repay you for that delicious picnic you prepared today.
Huh? Thank you.
Birds heading home to roost proclaimed that nightfall would soon be upon us.
Keiji-kun is going to help. And I can take Colonel Sanders home.
Rena staggered along as if intoxicated in her dreamy state of mind. I tried asking her in a way that wouldn't take her out of her cheery state. Hey, Rena. Long ago, did something happen here?
Seems like they were building a dam here. I don't know the details, though.
I'm just wondering if you knew about the, an accident or something.
I don't know.
Her tone was disturbingly frank. It sounded more like a denial than an answer. She must have appeared rather dumbstruck. Rena quickly lightened her expression.
Actually, I didn't live here until a year ago.
Huh? You transferred here too? Wait, I was sure that...
So you see, I don't really know much from before that. Sorry.
Don't really know and don't want to talk about it. That was the kind of feeling she gave me. Thinking about it, of course it would be like that. This wasn't any type of thing that girls would enjoy talking about. It was quite a disturbing incident. They still haven't found one of the arms. If it's just like Tomitake-san said, then I had a feeling only the Higurashi would know. New tips unlocked. Maibara Manor and one other that I didn't get a chance to see. Let's save. Let's close. Let's check out our tips. The Maibara Manor. How are they not all over this?
So, Kei-chan, you're not stinking rich?
What is this about all of a sudden? Did I come to school in a limo before?
How much do you get for a monthly allowance?
About 1,000 yen?
My, that's a rather plebeian amount. His lunch is made up of normal stuff. He isn't rich.
What are they talking about? To be asked out of nowhere how much I get, and then told it's a plebeian amount?
Sorry.
Rena seemed to pick up on my dubious expression and started giggling.
Kei-chan, your house, it's pretty big, yeah? So the architecture has people all around Hinamizawa calling it the Maibara Manor, and well, it sorta stands out.
Maibara Manor?
Since the house is so big, everyone's gossiping, wondering exactly how rich you are.
Oh, I see. Now I get it. Well, the frame of it is huge. I see how it could cause some misunderstandings.
And from my deduction, I wager that they spent too much money on building the house, and that's why they're now broke. Being broke, how very, very unfortunate.
Rika-chan took pity on me as she patted my head. I go from being treated like a millionaire to a beggar. Yeah, sorry for ruining your imagination, but we aren't millionaires or poor. We're just the image of a normal, average household.
You can't call it normal with that huge house. The entranceway's all grand, and the gate, well, it's large enough for a large truck to get through. That's not normal at all.
They do say the bigger your house, the more prosperous you are. The reason the house is so big is because Dad's studio's in it too. There are a bunch of different workshops, and lots of his works are hung up in different places. All of them are huge too. For those reasons, the family actually uses only a third of the house for day-to-day living. He planned it out, so people and cars could come in to see the gallery he opens up in the house someday. By the way, that entranceway Mion is talking about is the one for the studio, and it's normally sealed off. The entranceway to the Maebara family actually uses is a very plain and simple one. The interior is much different from how it looks on the outside.
I'd really like a chance to explore Kei-chan's house. Claiming not to be rich, but having a home like that? Oh, what could be hidden there? Maybe there's something cute hidden. Oh. They probably had no money to purchase furniture, so it's filled with Spartan rooms. If there were carpeted rooms, I would love to try rolling around on the floor. Whoa, that'd be great! So great! I want to roll around too.
Seems like their imaginations were just piling on. Well, sometime in the near future, it wouldn't be too bad to invite them all to my house. Dad is a sucker for the ladies, so he might even let them look around his studio. The cry of the Higurashi crescendoed as the sky towered over everything. It was hot, but the air was clear. It smelled like the beginning of summer. Okay, beginning of summer. Got it. Write that down. Oh, here we go. Here's the newspaper, right? It was in the newspaper, the damn site. Okay, here we go. From the June 1979 edition. So if I remember correctly, this takes place in 1982. So 3 years ago? The Shishibone City, Okinomiya Police Station. June, late at night. That's Okinomiya is the biggest next town over, right? Where they said the hospital was? Or the nearest school. The nearest school. Right? Where they said if they didn't rent out that building, they would have had to walk all the way to Okinomiya. Didn't they mention like a doctor in the same thing? I don't remember. I'll have to go back and... Suspects blank, 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 and blank were arrested on suspicion of murder and improper disposal of a corpse. The main offender, blank, has been added to wanted lists nationwide. According to our sources, the 6 suspects were at the Hinamizawa Dam construction site workroom on the blank at 9 p.m., where they are suspected to have assaulted and murdered the site overseer blank as a group, dismembering his body and hiding it. At 8 o'clock in the morning, a report was filed by the Shishibone City Hospital in which a male suspect alluded to have murdered Mr. Blank. When questioned at the police station, the individual confessed to the crime. Since a portion of the body was recovered at the location he gave, he was arrested that afternoon on suspicion of murder and mutilation of a corpse. The rest of the suspects were arrested the same day, but the main culprit is still at large. Police are currently on his trail. The motive is purported to be a drunken verbal dispute during which he killed the victim in a fit of anger. However, as there are multiple inconsistencies with their testimonies, the investigation is ongoing. Okay? A murder 3 years ago at the construction site for the dam, which is now a dumping ground for the town. 6 people assaulted and killed the overseer of the site, mutilated his corpse. One of the arms is still missing. Keiichi Mibara's father, the artist, has structured an entire massive manor in which his entire studio resides, where people can come in and out and check out his works for purchase. The house itself is just one small third of the overall building, so he is not filthy rich. He's just like kinda rich. We had a nice picnic lunch at the Furude Shrine, overlooking all of Hinamizawa. We met, oh man, I'm going to forget his name. It starts with a T, right? I forgot his name. Yeah, he's art gallery rich, you know. The photographer. We met a photographer from out of town who comes into town to primarily photograph birds, but took a picture of us late at night while Rena was digging through Tomitake. It is perfectly Tomitake. Yes, it is. Exactly that. While Rena was digging through garbage and found a Colonel Sanders doll. Sure, why not? Chapter 2. Higurashi. A little bit at a time, we're inching our way forward. I'm loving the breadcrumb trail of horror that we're getting here. Because we have to remember, Mion's aunt sells used school uniforms just mysteriously. The town itself has like funkiness going on. The old school burned to the ground. There's a lot to dig into. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to see here in Higurashi. I like these as well. I disassociate a little when you said Rena found a Colonel Sanders doll. She did. And you know what I'm thinking? I'm just thinking this off the top of my head. Do you think that they're... Oh, they might actually be talking about a Colonel Sanders doll. I was thinking of Big Boy. Vintage Japan KFC Colonel Sanders Sofubi figure collection. From Toy Underground. Made in Japan. That's probably what she found. Sure. KFC is big there. I do know that. I don't think of a Colonel Sanders doll. You know, I think of Big Boy. And Big Boy isn't, to my knowledge, big in Japan. I know KFC is. There he is. Imagine seeing that dude at the bottom of a trash heap. Chapter 2 of Higurashi in the books. See you next time. Next week for the next episode. We're learning. We're playing. We're having a good time. Thank you so much.